Alright Pistons fans, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about NBA legend Kevin Garnett saying that he would like to see James Wiseman develop into an Andrew Bogut, JaVale McGee type of player. Now before we get into everything, please make sure that you guys like this video. Get me to 50 likes on this video. I got to get myself back into the algorithm. It's been about 4 months since I posted a video, so got to get back into it. 50 likes on this video. And also, before we get to talking about James Wiseman and Kevin Garnett, let me know if y'all want a video on how college life was, if y'all want a life update, anything like that. Let me know in the comment section below. If y'all want to see me talk about the Lions, if you want to see me talk about NBA draft, just anything and everything, let me know in the comment section down below. The Pistons recently fired our assistant GM, Rob Murphy, who for the most part oversaw the G League roster on the Pistons. So if you want me to talk about that, let me know. And we still have this head coaching situation that we have to sort out. A new report just came out saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers are likely to shop Isaac Okoro. I don't really believe that because it doesn't make much sense for the Cavs, their point of view, to do something like that. But a report did go out about that. I haven't read it yet, but if y'all want me to make a video about Isaac Okoro, let me know. Cade talked about his time in Detroit. Troy Weaver was talking about Jalen Duren. We now know some names of college players who will be worked out by the Pistons. There is a lot of news that I could make videos on. But without further ado, let's get to talking about backup center for the Detroit Pistons, James Wiseman. So James Wiseman is a 22-year-old, 7 feet tall, 240-pound center. And his stats on the Pistons this season was 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 25 minutes per game. Now the clip that I will show you guys in this video is from a while back. It recently resurfaced on social media. A lot of people were talking about it these past few days, but the clip did come out a long time ago. It was when James Wiseman was on the Golden State Warriors. But in this clip, Kevin Garnett was asked the question, what do you see for James Wiseman? Play the clip right now.
What can you see for Wiseman?
So I'm just being 100. If you're a big and you in that system, guess what you got to follow? You got to follow how Bogut did it. Yeah. Bogut was the supreme. He is the epitome of how. I bet you when they brought JaVale in, they had to show him Bogut footage. Hey, we need you to block shots, and we need you to rebound and catch this lob every third play.
Yeah.
When they come down the middle, Draymond ain't even trying to lay it up or dunk the ball. When he get in the middle, he break. It's a lot. That's a play, man. That's how Bogut was eating. That's why Bogut would come beat your shit up or get dunked on or challenge the rim. They showed that same shit. JaVale McGee is a two-time, not one-time, two-time champion in that fucking system. So I'm looking for Wiseman. He's probably a better scorer, or I would assume that he's a better scorer, right?
He way more athletic than Looney, too.
Man, but he only got Looney balls.
Looney
heart. Looney gonna fall 8 times, grab a rebound, guard AD, guard fucking Djokovic, guard fucking Embiid.
And he playing 82.
He don't give a fuck.
And he playing
82. He gonna be out there, Rudy, about 25 years old, look like he's 72 years old out there, motherfucker.
And he playing 82.
Listen, my man Bo loves fucking the Golden State Warriors. And Mooney is his best motherfucking friend, dog. I swear to God. But I started watching him, and he do all the little small stuff. You already got Draymond, who trying to guard every motherfucker. He calling out. He acts like Draymond really reminds me of Rondo, the way he controls the game. You ever notice how Rondo come out tell you da-da-da? Draymond come out, he telling niggas to go through, and you see in his head, right?
The quarterback.
I just want to see that young generation get downloaded with some of this greatness and then see them take it over. That's really, I want to see Wiseman come in and be a better Bogut or a better JaVale.
So essentially in that clip, Kevin Garnett was trying to say that Kevin Looney was better than James Wiseman. He had more scrappiness to him, more grittiness. I guess that's what he was trying to say, which isn't really saying much because it's Kevin Looney. I mean, Kevin Looney, he plays a role. Everybody in basketball has a role to play, and Kevin Looney, he's a guy who blocks shots every now and then, gets rebounds, battles the bigs down low. Everybody has their role, but it's Kevin Looney. Saying that Kevin Looney is better than James Wiseman isn't really saying that much. I mean, right now, Kevin Looney, he's going to have issues dealing with, A. Disney, Mickey James. The Lakers are playing the Warriors right now. Now, I know the main reason why Kevin Garnett decided to pick Looney is because at the time, it was Looney and Wiseman, both on the Warriors roster, both big men. So I understand why he decided to put those two in the same type of category. But then outside of that, wanting the younger players, someone like Wiseman, to kind of play like the veterans, the older guys, the tougher and grittier previous generations old basketball players. Although I do wonder if, he wasn't specifically referencing Warriors players like JaVale McGee and Andrew Bogut. I wonder if Kevin Garnett would have referenced other NBA players who were in the league about 10 to 15 years ago, or if he could have compared Wiseman to a current day player, because there are some, pretty physical guys in this league currently who prioritize their game in the low post offensively and defensively. But let's get back to talking about James Wiseman. What do we have here with him in Detroit? Honestly, I don't know. Wiseman was a top guy in high school. Then he went to college, and we had little to no tape of James Wiseman in college. And then he got drafted to a contending team in the Golden State Warriors. Now that might have been the year where the Warriors were actually down because Curry was injured, Clay was injured. So that might have been the year when they were kind of in that rebuilding phase where they got Kuminga and Wiseman. But still, the Warriors have that championship culture. So he was drafted to a team whose expectations in the very near future were still to get back to a championship. Wiseman got injured, the Warriors gave up on him, went to the G League, injuries, so on and so forth. Then he ended up in Detroit. Now what we saw in the few games with James Wiseman as a Piston doesn't really move the needle for me. And that's not a bad thing to say. His numbers weren't that special. And when you use your eye test, what he actually did on the floor, he didn't really make much of an impact with his time on the Pistons. He was at best okay, and that's not a bad thing because he's a 22-year-old who we shouldn't have high expectations for. Again, we didn't know what he was in college, and so far in the league, G League, and injuries. There's nothing there with James Wiseman right now. There is no expectations to, compare him to someone like Kevin Looney or even put him on the same level as a Jalen Duren on our roster. I think that someone like James Wiseman, you should just let him go out there and hoop. See what he does. And he becomes a Bogut, a JaVale McGee, cool. That would be great. But if he goes out there and becomes someone like Bismack Biyombo, a guy who barely gets in the rotation, may get a block every now and then, get 4 or 5 rebounds on a night, that's fine too. The Pistons may have been interested in James Wiseman, but we were not the ones who drafted him at number 2. That was the Golden State Warriors. It is their fault if Wiseman, didn't live up to their expectations and they ended up giving up on him. So that's an L for the Warriors, not the Pistons if he doesn't pan out. We didn't trade Cade Cunningham to get a James Wiseman. It is what it is when it comes to the future for Wiseman. It's just with somebody like Wiseman, I'm not going to give too much thought, too much energy and effort into prioritizing him when it comes to the Pistons. And actually, if we look at those other guys, let's look at their peak years and their statistics. Andrew Bogut, his peak year, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. JaVale McGee, his best year, 12 points, 7 rebounds. Kevin Looney, who just had his best season, 7 points and 9 rebounds. Now, I get what Kevin Garnett was saying when it comes to the scrappiness and the effort, the energy. All of those guys have that above Wiseman. But when we're talking about numbers alone, statistically, yes, they are above Wiseman, but it's not like they're out of this world. 7 points and 9 rebounds, that's cool and all, but statistically, it's not that impactful on the floor. It's just, again, as Kevin Garnett was talking about, playing like a big, blocking shots, battling bigs down low. That's where they get their real points at. But that's basically all that I have to say for this video. The Detroit Pistons are my favorite team. James Wiseman is on the Detroit Pistons, so I'm going to support him regardless. I want him to be successful, but at the end of the day, if Wiseman is terrible, that's whatever for me, okay? Please make sure that you guys like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank y'all for 7K, and I'm out.